Dan Hooker.
That's true.
Dan Hooker can't pull. Dan Hooker couldn't grapple a rapist off his mom.
Around with Dan Hooker and Paddy Pimblett. I was wondering if you were able to, see it or what you thought about it.
I didn't see what they're doing.
Just going back and forth on Twitter.
They're on the same level. They can do that. So trash cans.
Paddy Pimblett had full attention during a media appearance meant to promote a future fight. But he mishandled the moment by targeting Dan Hooker's grappling with a crude remark that went far beyond standard pre-fight talk, instantly turning what should have been promotion into backlash. The reaction was swift as clips spread across social media and criticism poured in, with fans and fighters alike seeing not confidence but careless judgment, and that one comment drowned out everything else he said. Hooker responded immediately, and without restraint, posting a threat and then referencing the death of Pimblett's close friend in 2022, a move that abruptly shifted the situation away from competition and erased any remaining respect. The controversy deepened when fans resurfaced another part of the same interview where Pimblett calmly explained that family should never be mentioned and that rivalries should stay focused on fighting, placing the two moments side by side and exposing a clear contradiction. The label followed quickly, and attempts to dismiss the incident as trash talk failed to convince anyone, as Hooker rejected the excuse and public opinion fully turned, with a single sentence igniting a conflict before it had even properly started.
Dan Hooker and Paddy Pimblett. I was wondering if you were able to, see it or what you thought about it.
I didn't see what they're doing.
Just going back and forth on Twitter.
They're on the same level. They can do that. So trash cans.
Trains with bull guys. He never compete even high level. He never compete in jiu-jitsu or grappling. I saw him. He had a fight, grappling fight, and he tapped.
As Pimblett and Hooker continued trading shots online, Arman Tsarukyan observed quietly before stepping in with a comment that dismissed both of them at once, refusing to align with either side and reducing the entire dispute to meaningless noise between two fighters undeserving of attention. He then shifted focus to what he considered the real issue, directly questioning Pimblett's abilities on the mat by stating that his ground skills were overstated, criticizing the level of his training partners, suggesting he deliberately steered clear of high-level grappling challenges. Tsarukyan pointed to old footage of Pimblett submitting in a previous grappling contest and used it to argue that his reputation in submissions was built more on perception than proof. The moment landed effectively, as skepticism toward Pimblett was already growing after the Hooker situation, and this added a technical reason for fans to doubt him. Tsarukyan kept it brief and precise, letting specific claims do the damage rather than emotional attacks, which led to old clips resurfacing and stories from training rooms spreading. Coming from a fighter near the top of the division, the critique carried weight, and because Tsarukyan stayed composed and methodical instead of theatrical. His words didn't chase attention, but instead planted questions about Pimblett's legitimacy that could have consequences far beyond an online argument.
He's an amazing fighter, though. How do you think you match up against him if you guys are to be matched up in the future?
I hope I eventually fight Arman because I want to shut him up. He's a little idiot. I'd love to beat him up. Everyone thinks his grappling's unbelievable. I don't think it's that good at all. He can't submit Char a bullet, lad, who's striker, who can't grapple. Before he fought Dan Hooker, I thought that Arman may have been a tougher fight for me stylistically than Ilya. But after watching that fight, he's not. Ilya's a much tougher fight.
Pimblett responded immediately to Tsarukyan's criticism with a blunt counterattack, questioning Arman's reputation by pointing to a moment where he nearly submitted to a striker, and using it to dismiss his image as a dominant grappler. He brushed off grappling tournaments as pointless and attention-driven, accused Tsarukyan of chasing relevance outside the UFC, and escalated things by openly wishing him harm, making it clear all respect was gone. Pimblett insisted he hadn't entered grappling-only events in years because real proof comes inside the octagon, framing Arman as frustrated rather than threatening. As their exchange continued, tension grew around the backup spot for Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje, which many expected Tsarukyan to take until he declined without a signed contract, citing past experiences where staying ready earned him nothing. Pimblett blasted that decision, labeling it a pattern of pulling out missing weight, wasting opportunities, even revisiting a cancelled title fight to portray Tsarukyan as unreliable. By contrast, he positioned himself as dependable, and that narrative began to shift public opinion, turning Tsarukyan from unlucky to responsible for his own setbacks.
Fans thought Arman should have been the one to get a 155 title shot.
We knew that would happen too.
Of course. Did the headbutt play any factor in the decision to not go with him? It did, right?
A lot of things have factored in, you know. Yes. It's not like he hasn't had the opportunity. I have to be able to count on somebody if somebody's going to fight for a world championship. And Tsarukyan's had opportunity. He didn't take it. You know, plus Tsarukyan just fought too. Just fought this last fight he won. And, almost blew the fight by headbutting him in the face at the weigh-ins. He had a fight. We made this fight, and it's the beginning of the year. So we'll see how this year plays out.
Dana White's involvement shifted the situation instantly. When asked whether Arman Tsarukyan's headbutt at the weigh-ins affected his chances at a title opportunity, Dana answered without hesitation and confirmed that it did, making it clear that the incident alone was enough to derail Arman's momentum. While fans were divided and many believe Tsarukyan had earned an interim title shot based on ranked wins, performances, and willingness to face tough opponents, Dana's response closed the discussion. The UFC was factoring in more than fight results, placing equal weight on professionalism, making weight, behaving properly during fight week, and avoiding unnecessary drama, areas where Arman fell short. Combined with previous withdrawals, weight-related problems, and now a public altercation, the organization viewed him as a risk outside the cage, regardless of how dangerous he was inside it. By contrast, Pimblett's record showed consistency. No missed fights, no weight issues, and no backstage incidents, along with strong promotional value. Dana's message was simple. Ability alone doesn't secure opportunities, and fighters who create complications lose ground, which is ultimately why Tsarukyan's title shot disappeared.
He's an amazing fighter, though. How do you think you match up against him if you guys are to be matched up in the future?
I hope I eventually fight Arman because I want to shut him up. He's a little idiot. I'd love to beat him up. Everyone thinks his grappling's unbelievable. I don't think it's that good at all. He can't submit Char a bullet, lad, who's striker, who can't grapple. Before he fought Dan Hooker, I thought that Arman may have been a tougher fight for me stylistically than Ilya. But after watching that fight, he's not. Ilya's a much tougher fight.
Video that emerged of you training with Nina Marie doing the exercise. This is how you injured yourself. Is there anything to that?
No, that thing I'm doing like every day on my warm-up.
What ultimately led to you pulling out?
When I started cut weight. It's because of sciatic nerve. I was cutting weight and my back stuck when I woke up and I felt so bad. I couldn't move. And we called them and doctors came and said, I'll be all right in the morning. I can cut weight. So like when I woke up and I felt so bad and it's impossible.
After weeks of silence, Arman Tsarukyan explained that his withdrawal from the UFC 311 title fight was due to a serious back injury, not weight or strategy, revealing scans that showed a herniated disc that left him unable to train or even walk and may still require surgery. Despite having medical proof, the explanation came too late. As the UFC had already moved on and fans had labeled him unreliable rather than injured, even detailed descriptions of the pain and limitations failed to change the narrative, highlighting how unforgiving timing can be in MMA, where one injury can erase years of progress. While Tsarukyan remains an elite contender, the title opportunity he missed may not return, and the spotlight instead shifted to Paddy Pimblett, who stayed available and benefited from the moment.
If Ilya continues to take time out to solve whatever he's got going on, are you happy to fight Arman?
Yeah. It's annoying me that people saying you're ducking Arman. I've never been offered to fight Arman. If I ever got offered to fight Arman, I would have punched his head in by now. He irritates me. I think he's an absolute helmet. So, yeah, I'd fight Arman in a heartbeat. If Ilya can't come back by June, July, then you need to strip him. He's slowing the division down, and I'll defend against Arman, or Max, or Charles, or whoever. I don't care.
Who's the bigger helmet, Arman or Ilya?
He's an amazing fighter, though. How do you think you match up against him if you guys are to be matched up in the future?
I hope I eventually fight Arman because I want to shut him up. He's a little idiot. I'd love to beat him up. Everyone thinks his grappling's unbelievable. I don't think it's that good at all. He can't submit Char a bullet, lad, who's striker, who can't grapple. Before he fought Dan Hooker, I thought that may be a tougher fight for me stylistically than Ilya. But after watching that fight, he's not. Ilya's a much tougher fight.
After the dust settled, the attention returned to Paddy Pimblett, who emerged from the controversy with UFC backing while Tsarukyan did not. Pimblett made weight, stayed available, avoided fight week trouble, and kept promoting, turning backlash and rivalries into increased visibility that the UFC values. While he may not be the most polished or universally respected fighter, he consistently shows up when needed. Tsarukyan, meanwhile, is sidelined by injury and rebuilding trust after missing his moment. A difficult task in such a deep division. What started as a joke became a defining split, and for now, Pimblett remains in the spotlight.